So I'm gonna ask you about civil unions.
Yes.
How's that decision sitting with you, not to push forward with a vote on full-on gay marriage?
This has probably been personally one of the most difficult,
I bet.
because on a whole lot of levels, and I don't talk about my personal life a lot. But this one came close as it could be getting personal, and I try not to be, quite frankly, let personal affect what I think is in the broad-based best interest of the state. Hard to do, because we all bring our personal beliefs and everything else to this building. You can't separate yourself. Civil union, I will state for the record, I'm unequivocally a full supporter of marriage equality, haven't wavered from that, will not waver from that, and have never done anything or hopefully said anything to give anyone the impression that I've somehow walked away from that position or turned my back on that position. That's where I stand, and that's what I believe is what should happen, full marriage equality, and I'm going to continue to work on that. To me, civil unions is a step in that direction. And sometimes you have to, in terms of looking at these bills, and why it's personal, because there's been a lot of castigation of me and my beliefs and who I am from members of the community, the gay community, as well as from out the gay community. Many of them don't know me personally, so it gets personal in that regard. When it's so I've turned my back on the gay community, or I don't like myself very much, I don't dwell on that, but I think I like myself pretty much. I mean, I'm an openly gay man, said it publicly in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, so I don't know why people think I'm trying to hide who I am. I've never hidden who I am. But I think people read into people's actions. And I think a lot of that's because of disappointment. You mean, there was a standard set, and I think maybe Rhode Island was set differently than other states, that it was marriage or nothing, because I look right down the road in Delaware, they're celebrating civil unions. In Illinois, there's civil unions, they're celebrating. In Hawaii, they're celebrating. Here in Rhode Island, you're vilified for passing civil unions.
Do you think one of the reasons that civil unions is seen as a defeat in Rhode Island is because we have an openly gay speaker of our house?
That's probably part of it. I can see that. And the fact that we are New England, we're considered the blue state, and you look at next door, Connecticut and Massachusetts to the north have it, and I would just look at those. I mean, Connecticut started with civil unions, and it was the court that made marriage, full marriage, and Massachusetts started in the courts. And you can even talk to the greatest advocates of marriage equality will say, in a lot of sense, with the right lineup in a court, it's actually easier to get gay marriage enacted judicially than it is legislatively. It's just the nature of these. Legislatures tend to be reactionarily slow to catch up to the broader public opinion. So I think it's not just that there's a gay speaker, but there's a lot of polling data that suggests a lot of Rhode Islanders support it. But there's also, you have a very aggressive Catholic church, and Rhode Island is one of the most Catholic states in the country, and that sort of offsets. Rhode Island's one of those quirky places. So I think there was a lot of disappointment because it became our neighbors, the surrounding. Poll data suggests that most people support this. Why can't they do it? I think gay speaker maybe is lower on that totem pole, but I think there was an expectation that Rhode Island should be able to get marriage now, and that's a disappointment. And to a lot of people in the community, and I hear them loud and clear, there's a disappointment there, but I think what needs to be happening is keep that disappointment channeled, focused, for the good, that the fight's not over. Look at the civil union bill. There's nothing in there that says that will prevent the next step of this fight, and stay focused on the fight, and let's make sure we get there.